All right, so we are moving on to the next section in Unit 4. We are going to discuss percent and percent of change. Now, I like this unit because percentages is something that we use in our daily lives when we're trying to measure things to determine how much something is. If there's a percentage, of the chance of rain in the weather is a percentage. The amount of, calories or fat or something in something that you eat, there's a certain percentage. When we talk about percentage, that's something that we can relate to because that's how we measure things in real life. So when we talk about percentage, I first want to give you a definition of percent, and that's at the top of your page. We talked about ratios in section 4.1. Well, percentage is a special ratio. And you know that by definition, a ratio is just a way to compare two quantities. Now, the reason why the percentage is a special ratio is because it's a ratio that compares any number to 100. You should know that when you're talking about percentages, if we're talking about 20%, that means that that's 20 out of 100. Or if we're talking about 85%, that may be the percentage that you got on a test or something. That means you got 85 out of 100. So that's why it's a special ratio, because this number never changes. Next sentence under that definition. To find the percent of a number, you have to use a proportion. And we know what a proportion is because we talked about them in the last section. Proportions, once you set them up, they're very easy to use and to solve. So what we're going to focus on in this section, at the beginning of this section, is to set up that proportion. Now, what I need you to do is, I know on your notes you've got the 4 things that must be true. What I want you to do is jump down to that box in the middle of the page, and let's work with the box first. So the box says to solve a percent problem, always use the following proportion. So here's what you write in that box. One side of your proportion is going to be your percentage. So this here is your number. So if we're talking about 20%, it would be 20 over 100 is equal to is over of. And I'm going to explain to you what the is over of means. Now, these are going to be represented by numbers. The is going to be coming as a number. And the of term is a number. So I need you to write this down, and I'm going to pause the video. When we come back, we'll talk about those 4 things that must be true.